5th. We've got with us in studio Dr. Blake Thompson of Mississippi College. Dr. Thompson, thanks for being here.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Well, we appreciate your making the time, and I know you've confirmed this off the air. We were debating it earlier. It is still Mississippi College, correct?
It is still Mississippi College, and we will become Mississippi Christian University next year, 2026.
Okay.
As part of our Bicentennial celebration. We will be 200 years old.
That is incredible. I don't know that I realized until today that MC was that old.
We are one of the oldest institutions of higher learning in this country, the oldest in Mississippi by several decades. So,
was it originally? What's the origin story on MC?
Yeah, so it goes back to 1826. We were Hillman before we were Mississippi College. 175 years ago, we became affiliated with the Baptist Convention in the state of Mississippi, one of the oldest relationships between a Baptist convention and an institution of higher education.
But it was not originally founded.
It was actually founded as a Presbyterian institution.
I didn't know that.
When this was the Wild West. This was far west in our country. And then Baptist stepped in almost exactly 175 years ago. So.
Fascinating.
So we'll celebrate all of that over the coming year, and it'll be a great time for our institution.
So when do the bicentennial celebrations start? When do you kick those off?
So Founders Day is actually in January of 26. We just celebrated our 199th birthday.
Wow.
Just a couple of weeks ago. So we'll do that begin in January, and we'll go all year long, and there will be things over the course of the entire year that we'll do to celebrate really what has been 200 years of service to the state of Mississippi and service to Mississippi citizens.
That's very exciting. What sort of things do you all have planned for the bicentennial?
There'll be a celebration. There'll be a birthday party. We will have at some point we will have the actual name change take place.
Okay.
We will commemorate that. I'd love to talk a little bit about the rationale, the reasoning behind that name change at some point this morning, and we think it will be just a celebration of our history. And then what I focused on is thinking about and talking about the next 200 years. What do we look like? What do we do for the state of Mississippi for the next 200 years?
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the name change, because that's something I think for those of us who aren't paying close attention, that seemed like it came out of nowhere. But clearly that is something that you and the board has been thinking about for some time, I would imagine.
Actually, it's been talked about for decades, been thought about for decades. We've had studies done. And as we were approaching this bicentennial, we decided it was time to go ahead and make that change. And it was a relatively straightforward idea. Mississippi College transitioning to Mississippi Christian University makes all kind of sense. We can keep the MC logo. I'm very proud of that logo. We will be known as Mississippi Christian most likely. But what I really love is that we get to keep the name Mississippi there. We are rooted deeply in this state for 200 years. I do feel like we serve the state of Mississippi. We talk all the time about our law school producing lawyers for the state of Mississippi. You had one on just before me and Joey Phillips.
That's a good
point. We talk about the fact that we do pre-medicine for a whole lot of physicians in our state. There's no place in the country that needs great physicians more than the state of Mississippi. This is a wonderful place to come and practice health care, nursing, public health. This is a great place to come and be a teacher. It's a great place if you want to be inspired to write the next great novel, Mississippi is where you come to write the next great novel or the next great opera. So we really do feel this deep connection to the state of Mississippi. So we get to keep the Mississippi name. And then we convert to Mississippi Christian, which is not a change at all. It is who we have been for 200 years. And
if you didn't realize MC was a Christian school, you probably weren't paying attention.
But people outside of Mississippi don't necessarily know that.
That's a good point.
And I do think it's time for the next 200 years that we take our our place on the national stage, and that we say to folks, this is who we are. We clearly articulate who we are. And in this day, in this age, I think the Christian mission, the faith-based mission of the school is more important than ever. And we're not going to shy away from that. We're going to lean into that and let the world know that's who we are. And then the final piece of that new name is university. And by every stretch of the imagination, we are a university with graduate programs, with a comprehensive liberal arts undergraduate curriculum, with a campus in downtown Jackson and in Clinton. We are a university, and for the next 200 years, we'll be known as Mississippi Christian University. So I'm very proud of that, and I'm very thankful for all of those who've gone before me and have done a lot of the groundwork to make that name change happen.
That makes sense. And my sense is, and you obviously understand this far better than I do, university, is that a big thing for international recruiting?
It is.
It just means something different.
And if you look, community colleges are actually dropping the name community. Jones College, right? It used to be Jones County Community College, right. Junior College, JCJC. It's Jones College is the moniker that they use. So I think it's important to differentiate ourselves as a comprehensive university, and that is exactly who we are.
That makes sense. For the law school, for instance, I mean, do you all know yet? I suspect you do, but how does that get branded after this? Is it still MC School of Law or MCU School of Law? How will that work?
I think it'll still be MC Law.
Okay.
MC School of Law, and I'm very proud that. In fact, I want to talk for a few minutes about the law school. You know, we have made a commitment to the law school being in downtown Jackson, within walking distance of the legislature and the courts and the state agencies.
I can see it from my office. Yeah,
it's a strategic location. We're the capital city law school, and we really do train a great number of lawyers that practice in the state of Mississippi. A great number of them are in the state legislature, so we see it as just a strategic imperative. We've announced recently a renovation to that facility, almost a $10 million commitment to the space that we occupy there in Jackson, and we're very proud of it. I would invite folks to come see that. We're in the process of renovation right now.
It's never fun,
but it's already a remarkable transformation. So we're very proud and thankful for it.
How has, I know everybody, anytime you're in a university setting, you've got a lot of people who feel a lot of ownership about the school, whether they're alumni or current students, parents, whatever. What has the reaction been to the rebranding? Has it been generally positive, or I imagine you're getting lots of feedback? Yeah,
no, generally positive, and the more I can talk about it and explain it, I think it makes sense to folks. We have thought about it for a long time,
right?
And we're also not going to be too much of a stickler for this. So people love Mississippi College, and they love the name Mississippi College, and some people will keep calling it Mississippi College for a long time, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But I have been telling folks it's the MC that you've always known. It's the MC that you've come to love, and it will continue to be.
And I guess MC still works. I mean, I suppose
MC
if you're saying
works.
I'm going to MC, it still
works.
The letters are the same. Tell us a little bit, and I know this has been announced for a while yet, but what sort of is the Speed Scholarship now fully implemented? Yeah.
So gives me a chance to talk about Leland Speed as well, who was a remarkable Mississippian.
No doubt about it.
He was an incredible man. I'm thankful to have spent, I guess, the last 3 or 4 years of his life. He really committed to Mississippi College and to service to Mississippi College. When he passed away, he was the chairman of our foundation board.
Was he an alum?
He's not an alum.
Really?
He's not an alum. A lot of his family. He's had grandkids there recently. He resonated with the mission, and he really resonated with the faith-based mission of the institution. He made a comment to me just shortly before he passed away that the role of faith-based institutions were more important than they've ever been. In an increasingly secular world, the role of these institutions are more important than they've ever been, and he's helped us do. He also loved Mississippi, and I think that was part of the thinking behind the Speed Scholarship, was to support Mississippi students and to make sure Mississippi students could access really whatever education they thought was the best fit for them.
Yeah.
He wanted them to be able to come and take part in what we do if that's what they thought was the right fit.
Do you have time to stick with us for another segment,
I'd love
Dr.
to.
Thompson?
Be glad to.
Coming up on a break, but we'll have more with Blake Thompson, the president of MC, right after this. This is Lucian Smith on the Gallo Radio Show on SuperTalk, Mississippi.
Where were the spiders?
Y'all, this is Lucian Smith here on the Gallo Radio Show on SuperTalk, Mississippi. We've got Dr. Blake Thompson, the president of Mississippi College, with us. We were talking about before the break the Speed Scholarship and sort of what that's offering to students right now. That really does seem like something extraordinary.
It is. It has, coming out of COVID, difficult time for certainly private institutions all across the country. And Speed Scholarship gave us an opportunity to bring more Mississippi students onto our campus than we've had in a long time. It's enabled us to really expand. We're at capacity on our campus. It's enabled us to embark on some economic development projects in the city of Clinton. I'm really excited to talk about the fact that we have broken ground. We have the infrastructure work going on about a 50-acre development that sits between our campus and Interstate 20.
Wow.
Which university has owned for 100 years. It has a natural spring in the middle of it.
Really?
In fact, the spring is the reason the Natchez Trace comes through Clinton. And
I did not know that.
We have preserved and saved that spring. Some of the great news I got over the Christmas break was when the construction folks came in or called and said the spring has filled back up. And we've named the development Rising Spring.
Okay.
And it'll really be a mixed-use development with restaurants and hotels and retail. And the idea is to just further enhance the city of Clinton. Clinton is a remarkable small town, and we're very thankful to be at the center of it and to help it to continue to grow. And this may be one of the largest economic development projects in the history of the city of Clinton.
I would assume that you've got to be the biggest employer in Clinton. So
yeah.
a significant driver of the during out there.
That's right.
You want to talk a little bit about what it means to be such a big part of the community in Clinton?
It's been fascinating. During my almost 7 years there, I've talked about the way we partner with the city of Clinton. I call it the Clinton way. And it really is an interactive engagement across politics and across economics and across cultural activities. We opened recently the Entergy Theater in the Gore Arts Complex, and the purpose really was to create a community space where the Brick Street Players, which is the small acting troupe from Clinton, will come to our campus and perform in the Entergy Theater. The Brick Streets of Clinton join our campus. Old Town Clinton is part of our campus. It looks like a movie set, and we've had half a dozen or so movies there over the last few years filming.
Really?
Because of how beautiful it is, and we're very proud of it.
It seems like, my family's from Starkville. My sister works in higher education. It seems like whenever you've got a university town, there's always an interesting kind of town and gown relationship. But my sense is that the Mississippi College and Clinton just have a phenomenal symbiotic relationship in a way that you can't necessarily say in every college town.
We could not ask for a better relationship with the city of Clinton. And it's interesting. We're not trying to be any other college town, right? Oxford is a great college town. Hattiesburg's a great college town. Starkville's a great college town. We're a small college town. And we're a Christian college town, which has its own unique kind of distinctive flavor to it, and we're very proud of that. And we'll lean into that, and we'll be who we are, and we'll be comfortable with it. And it is a great place to live. It's a great place to work, and a great place to get an education.
I would imagine you've got a lot of students. As you see these sort of left wing politics that are dominating a lot of campuses, I think of in the East Coast, but I suspect all over the country. I have to think that's got to be helping you all as you've got students who say, I want to get a high-quality education in a pleasant environment where maybe I'm not going to get screamed at about gender issues on the way to my science class.
It is a distinctive of our institution. And all of our faculty and staff members are professing Christians. All of our students come from all different walks of life and aren't necessarily Christian. But we do create an environment that is based on our set of Christian values that I think is attractive to people. Perhaps it's more attractive to people now than it's ever been.
Right. Talk a little bit, and we were talking about this off the air. You know, you obviously have a phenomenal campus in Clinton, but you continue to maintain the law school in downtown Jackson. And I imagine there's a diversity of views on consolidation versus keeping it down there, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on the decision to keep it there.
Yeah, so we've made this commitment to the city of Jackson and to the capital city. I think there is widespread consensus that we as a state, we need a strong capital city.
Right.
And we have a role in doing that. It's a couple city blocks. And I think we made that strategic decision that it made sense for Jackson, it made sense for the state of Mississippi, it made sense for all those constituencies that we serve out of our law school to be located there. So I'm very thankful for that.
Well, that's great. Okay, so we're I know there have been some shakeups on the athletic side.
Sure.
We're getting rid of football. Is that that the plan? Was this season the last season of football?
That's correct. We made a series of changes this fall. We announced the name change. We made a series of academic changes, and we made some athletic changes as well to better really align our mission to look at things that we were doing well and to focus on them. You can't be everything to everybody. The landscape of higher education is changing dramatically. The landscape of college athletics is changing dramatically.
That's true.
And what we're trying to do is really get ahead of the curve and anticipate some of these changes and make decisions in the best interest of the institution in the long run. And we wanted to go ahead and do those and make them. And they're never easy. They were difficult decisions. We thought about them. We've also had a lot of feedback on them, and we've tried to return I'm very, very, very proud of our people, our leaders. We've returned every phone call that we've gotten and responded to every person that has had feedback and input on the changes. And I'm glad we did them all at once. Change is never easy.
Right.
I'm glad we did them. But I think it was incumbent upon us to lead and to make some changes that we thought were in the best interest of the school long term, and we've done that.
Well, we all feel just such a sense of ownership of our own schools and universities, and so somebody comes in and they change the name, they change the athletic program, and you think, well, that nobody asked me. That's my school. So I can imagine those sorts of big changes, even when they're good for an institution, evoke a lot of strong feelings.
They do, but I have to say, most of the folks I've talked to, even if they've disagreed with some of the changes, they have been incredibly. Even if they disagree, they've been supportive and understanding. I'm thankful for the group of people that love Mississippi College, and will love Mississippi Christian University going forward, and their willingness to walk through all of these changes with us.
Yeah, that makes an awful lot of sense. What, as you look forward to the next 2 centuries, I mean, what do you? I know it's tough to predict where we're going to be 200 years from now, but how do you see, as Mississippi College becomes Mississippi Christian University, what do the next 2 centuries bring for you and for Clinton?
We will continue to do the things we do really well. We are committed to academic excellence, and you can come to MC and get as high quality an education as anywhere in this country. And I'm committed to that.
And essentially for free now, is that?
And at a cost that is competitive with anybody.
Okay.
You'll find we're very affordable, but also very good at what we do, and we'll remain committed to that Christian mission. I think the name change symbolizes that, but it's part of the DNA of our institution. It's part of the fabric of who we are. So we'll lean into that mission as well. We've got some new, exciting things we'll announce as part of the Bicentennial. One of them that I'll preview just a little bit for you is an institute that we'll create that really is committed to Christian intellectual thought and debate. We have such a rich intellectual history as Christians. The universities that you attended and the greatest universities in the world were created as Christian institutions.
Right. And they've all run from them now, unfortunately.
You look at the spread of not only higher education, you look at the spread of healthcare and hospital systems, all built out of faith-based institutions. So we really want to commit to that and engage people in thoughtful dialogue and debate about the really the intellectual basis. We do believe in objective truth, and that we can pursue that truth, and the university should pursue that truth, and that if we do that, we're ultimately going to line up and do good things for our communities.
Well, thank you for what you do, and thank you for continuing to lead that important institution, Dr. Thompson.
Grateful to it. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. Well, that's been Blake Thompson, the president of Mississippi College, soon to be Mississippi Christian University. This is Lucian Smith here on the Gallo Radio Show on SuperTalk Mississippi.
Girl that I met made